Sad moment for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the entire Manchester United fans all over the world out there because we all thought that this was going to be our day, but it turned out really to not be one because we've lost out on penalties, Villarreal scoring 11 and Manchester United scoring 10. But all the blame is going to go back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because this is really written all over the book, because you shouldn't take this game to penalties because you have a far much better squad than the team which goes by the names of Villarreal, and them going there at first to really get that goal and really continue to sit back and really get an equalizer and fail to get the likes of the Danny Van Binks on the one matters, because this is a game where you were supposed to risk because you have better players. Why should you put Scott McTominay all those minutes? Bring in a player who goes by the names of Nemanja Matic onto the pitch, Danny Van Beek onto the pitch. One matter, they can win this game because the game was all about the midfield, and these people and these players of Villarreal were sitting behind and they really never wanted really to get out from that comfortable position. And for them, they looked like a comfortable they looked like they were comfortable, they enjoyed each and everything, and they knew that they are really going for penalties, and we really failed ourselves by really going out to non-stop this in there because the manager really took long to make substitutions, and I think we would have gone ahead to win this game if at all Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had made some good substitutions in there. But all in all, I can tell you that it is looking awkward at Manchester United. Very bad news for United supporters out there. Watching penalties is something that we are really not to talk about. And very many people will come out and give their say about this finale. But all I can tell you is that Manchester United bottled it, and it's none other than the manager in there. Because when you have the likes of Rashford on the pitch, he has missed out ever since the game started. Rashford has not been the game. Why do you put him on the pitch? Are you really planning to go to penalties ever since the game started? I think the first plan is to win this game in the first 90 minutes. Rashford, let him, he has bottled the 45, take him off the pitch, bring in another player, especially Danny Van Beek, let Paul Pogba play off the left wing, and let a man who goes by the names of Paul Pogba play into the left wing, and Danny Van Beek play onto that side of the midfield alongside either Scott McTominay or Freddy Rodriguez or Nemanja Matic, because your plan had failed and Ole feared to make a risk. That's his problem. Ole feared to make a risk today. He feared to take a risk today. That's one of the problems that he took. But this is something that comes with the inexperience that Ole is having, especially when you've never played a final like this. So I think it's really positive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get some experience, fight experience, to know that even though you really want to win the game in the penalties, penalties are risky. So let him know from today that there is no way you can really have good players on your bench and fail to bring them onto the pitch because you think that your team will go ahead and win in penalties. Because look at a man who goes by the names of Unai Emery. He brought on all his 5 players into the second half, knowing that it might really go into the extra time and these players would have picked up their legs. Now just imagine if at all United had brought on the likes of Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic in there, Danny Van Beek, one of the best that I've seen at Manchester United ever since he's being put into that midfield role, and the manager does not want him really. He does not like him. It looks like he's not a signing of the manager, and many other people really come out and criticize people like David De Gea. I cannot go ahead and criticize David De Gea. Why should I? Because he missed a penalty. People have missed penalties, and there is no way you're supposed to judge David De Gea because in the entire 120 minutes, he did his job. He never conceded a goal. The goal he conceded was all about the poor defending of the legs of the Lindelofs of this world, who really failed to really brush that ball. 8 Manchester United players into the box, failing to head out that ball, and it landed onto a Villarreal player in there to cause some havoc in there for us. I really feel like it was something that we bottled at the beginning, at the word go of this game. Manchester United failing really to win this one, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer failing to win his first final of Manchester United in there. That is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for you. And by the way, I'm thinking that he's the reason as to why we lost. He's the reason as to why we lost, because look at the bench, the players that you have. You have a better quality squad than that of Villarreal. You fail really to go ahead and make substitutions. Sorry for that. You go ahead to make you fail to make substitutions as required, and because of the penalties, you get in that Alex Telles of this world, the one matters. Yet, a player like One Matter would have been on the pitch. Would have been on the pitch. You would have taken off Rashford, you would have taken off Mason Greenwood, bring on One Matter and Danny Van Beek. Now, let the ball really move, because these players really have the brains of the football game. And what did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do? He didn't do that. He only took off Mason Greenwood and brought in a player who goes by the names of Freddie Rodriguez in there. And I think Nemanja Matic was crucial into this game, because we needed more people who were really good on the ball. Danny Van Beek, Nemanja Matic, and One Matter. Those three substitutes would have been made by the manager, because this is what we needed, nothing else. We needed nothing else apart from these three players onto the pitch, because Villarreal had packed the bus. When a team packs the bus, what do? You bring players that are technically gifted and good on the ball. And first and need a central defensive midfielder who is going to really get that ball and take it to that team. That is none other than Nemanja Matic. You get? The other player is Danny Van Beek and One Matter, because you would have seen what they call flair onto that pitch. But oh my God, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has bottled a night for us. He has really bottled a night for us, and I don't really think it's going to really be good news, especially for him. Though we've really made good improvements, but we've lost a very big game to a team that we are really better than. Though we look at Unai Emery, he's more experienced than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He knows that one moment like this can win a final, and that one moment they created and faced the goal of Manchester United, they managed to score that goal, and we really bottled everything. And all I can tell you is that Ole is a man who has failed himself to win this one, because it was written all over us that this is our trophy. It was written all over, this was our trophy, and nothing else was going to happen to this trophy apart from us, apart from the manager parading the best tactics for this game. And from the word go, United played badly in the first half. You get? Second half, we really came up on the high, got chances, and we failed. And by the way, if there is a player I'm supposed to blame for such a loss for Manchester United, it's none other than Marcus Rashford. Rashford, from the word go, he really played trash football, bad football, and there is no one who can tell me that Rashford has really done anything. And I think if at all the manager of England was really watching on the screen there is no way Rashford is getting a start into his first Euros game in there, because he really bottled it up. In Romania, when England is playing, I don't see the likes of Rashford really getting a starting nod, because he has bottled it up. When I look at him play today and the last 10 games that Rashford has played, oh my God. First and foremost, he's selfish. Secondly, he wants to do things that he's not really good of. You get? That is Rashford for you. You get? People, now remember, if it was Anton Martial who missed that chance that Bruno Fernandes really gave to Marcus Rashford, do you know what the news would have been saying? Anton Martial, because they know Anton Martial is a direct competitor to an English player who goes by the name of Marcus Rashford. That's why they are even campaigning him for a swap of Harry Kane, because they know Anton Martial comes on the pitch and he can put up a better performance than that of Marcus Rashford, and that's why they are campaigning him to leave Manchester United to be included in a swap for Harry Kane. That's what the news is doing. But who is some player at Manchester United who got a keeper to beat a chance that you're supposed to really put up and put in the back of the net and you fail? That is the man who goes by the names of Marcus Rashford in there for you. Missing that one. Marcus Rashford being the worst player on the pitch today. Worst player on the pitch today is Marcus Rashford. Scott McTominay trying to set off the midfield in there, but Marcus Rashford. Oh no. I cannot believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer let Marcus Rashford play 120 minutes onto the pitch. He reached an extent at the beginning of the second half of the extra time. He was injured and he kept him on the pitch. Now, Ole, you kept him on the pitch, yes, played all those minutes while injured, bottled him up and everything. Have you won the final? Have penalties won the final? So all I can tell you is that one thing that you should know, I know this comes with inexperience, but I know he's learning on the job. Good thing to see to it that. Sorry for that. Good thing to see to it that last season we ended on the Europa League semi-final. This time we played the final, though we've not won. Last season in the Premier League we ended third. This time around we've ended second. Very big improvements in there for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and all I can tell you is that Manchester United fails to win. It's United had played 7 finals. 5, won 5 and lost 2, and now the 8th one we've also lost it. We last played the final with Jose Mourinho in there, and United saw itself winning by 2-0 into the UEFA Europa League in there, when United was really up to it that season in there. You can assume the likes of 876 Hitman says, I can't believe why De Gea. I see no reason as to why people are blaming David De Gea. You shouldn't blame David De Gea, because taking a penalty, it's, how can I name it? Missing a penalty is not a crime. Missing a penalty is not a crime. It's not a crime. It's not a crime that someone should come in and really blame a goalkeeper for really missing a penalty, because first and foremost, he's not used to taking penalties. Though most goalkeepers are good penalty takers, but all I can tell you is that Manchester United bottled it up because of the poor selection because of the tactics of the manager and the late substitutions. How can you let your players play 90 minutes and no substitution has been made, yet you have close to 5 substitutions to be made? Ole on this. I really blame you. I'm not Ole out. I really back Ole a lot. And even those moments when people were saying that Ole should be out, I really came out and said, no, I'm 100% supporting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now I know De Gea is missing a penalty. The English media is going really to start using it as a way to really let him out of Manchester United by really fronting a man who goes by names of Dean Henderson. They're really going to come out and say, if I thought it was Dean Henderson, he would have come out and saved. He would have saved the penalty, one of those. He would have done really something good for Manchester United, because United needed the 10 penalties, and you never know, Dean Henderson would have really saved one. But David De Gea has saved penalties before. We've seen it, but it was not a day for Manchester United. And all I can tell you is that Manchester United really lost this game because of the manager who goes by names of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Hitman says why De Gea, he was the only person who was left to take the penalty, because all the 10 players had taken penalties and the goalkeepers were the only ones left to take. The one of Villarreal takes his sorry. The one of Villarreal takes his into the back of the net. David De Gea bottles it up and misses out. Bakulu Vincent says, me too, I can't believe that we have lost to Villarreal. Me too. The moment we went into extra time, I knew we had lost, because the manager really never used the players that really had that could really win the game. Nemanja Matic, Dan Evan Big, and Juan Mata were for us. But guess what? The manager. So that's something that I really blame the manager, and I cannot believe that we lost to Villarreal, though in the 90 minutes after all that, I knew that we had bottled it up. Marcus Rashford having a worst day of his career, and the manager leaves him to the pitch to play close to 120 minutes in there. That is something inexcusable for a manager like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When we go to a man who goes by the names of Paul Pogba, really played well, though he really never linked up well with Bruno also. I think United really had a lot of pressure piled to them, being their first fight against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They really wanted to save the manager. But all in all, what I can tell you is that United have really bottled it up, and I can really assure you that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has shown the board that he does not trust his bench, because the day you play 90 minutes and you cannot make a substitution. Even in the semi-final that we lost to Villarreal, sorry, to Sevilla last season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to wait until the 87th minute. That's when he made his first substitution of the game. So it shows you really how bad it is for Manchester United, especially. That means most of the players that are onto the page of Manchester United, they are not recommended by the manager, they are really recommended by the board in there. And that's something that I've learned today, and has been confirmed that Ole doesn't trust Danny Van Beek. The Amad Diallos, he does not trust them. And by the way, if at all I was Ole, I would have gone with a diamond for starters, bringing in Scott McTominay on the tip of the diamond, Paul Pogba playing on the left of the diamond, Danny Van Beek playing on the right of the diamond, and Bruno playing on its tip, with Marcus Rashford and a man who goes by the names of Edson Cavani to lead the line. Then after, what would I have done? That would have been better. Take off Dan Van Beek because you think he cannot play for you that much football, and bring on another player. And then you go back to a 4-2-3-1 system in there, with Marcus Rashford switching off to the left, Pogba back into the midfield, and the Bruno into the middle of the park. So to me, I really think Ole is the reason as to why we lost. And if I won't look anywhere, because he had the chance to make the substitutions, he didn't. He made his first substitution into the extra time. You can know why. That is a clear sign that does not trust his players and the bench that he's having at Manchester United. So that has been the match reaction from Manchester United 1, Villarreal 1. Villarreal scoring 11 penalties, United scoring 10. De Gea misses and Villarreal wins in there, and Ole misses his first finale for Manchester United in there. And it has been really some good years, some close to how many years? Many good years for Manchester United, and really have nothing to say, but all I can say is that the season is done. We have to think good and better. Let Ole get backed, and very many things. And the people that we are saying that United needs a player who goes by the names of Hurricane. Do you think Hurricane was the reason United lost today? United lacked creativity. Creativity of people like Jadon Sancho, creativity of a man who goes by the names of a central defensive midfielder who could get that ball and really boss out the midfield, and a central defender who could really head that ball that a man who goes by the names of Victor Lindelof couldn't head in there. Very, very sluggish defending in there, that really saw United losing or conceding the goal fast into the first half. So to me, I really think United should really scatter for those three positions in there. And all I can tell you is that if at all those three positions are catered in for, you'll see a very more improved and competing United side when it comes to the Premier League, Champions League, and very many others. So to me, I really think United had luck. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had luck, the boys, but Marcus Rashford needs to get rest. If he's sick, let him get enough time to rest. Let him go in hospital. Let him get treated. Let him not really bottle up Manchester United, because he really wants to play each and every game, yet he is injured. That is Rokani in here for you with that missing out on this finale, and people like Harry Maguire being injured. You didn't force Harry Maguire to the pitch. Why do you force Marcus Rashford? Because it looks like he's unfit. He's injured. He does not go into those 50-50 that he used to do. So he does, because Rashford is a risk taker player. His weapon is the speed and pace that he has, and he cannot really apply them onto the pitch because he's injured. He is unfit in there, and I think the manager, who goes by the names of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is to blame for his performance and the others. Thank you guys for watching United losing out. Let's go into the transfers. Let's go into a season break, and let's see what happens at Old Trafford as far as signing new players is concerned.